What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Manic Minds podcast. I am your host today, Brandon, of course, from the graveyard. Okay, we are joined here with Corey. I don't know where he's at on my screen, but right over do. Corey from Sports Beast, Sean from the graveyard, and then
Oh,
Cody and Chody from Ballers on a Budget. I don't know where you guys are in relation
I was say
to.
keep in mind because my screen's the one that's recording and it's not that way.
Oh, it is what it is. Okay. So, hey, it's time to dig in deep and get fired up. So I am ready. I have actually a topic. I want to talk about video games. So
Of course.
I just want, of course, yeah, I know, right? Um, I want to know what maybe, top three, top five video games of, that you've ever played or, have seen, and the ones that you have played. I want to know what, your experiences on of them are and why they, I guess, they mean a lot to you. So like for me, I'll give you at least three, right? Um, one, Diablo
Hold on.
2.
Don't say your best video game
Mm-hmm.
until we'll all go around and say good game, talk about them, and then we'll go around and say our favorite video game ever.
See, and that's okay. I don't have a favorite, like
Or the
top
just
tier.
your top one.
Okay. Um, okay. So I'm yeah, no, okay. I'm going to go for me. So for me, right? I am a mixture between like a dungeon crawler, top view type deal. Um, which mine like Darkstone, for instance, like
Wait, is that like a top view? What would you call that view?
that is it's like the dungeon crawler top down,
I know, but that was like had
yeah.
the weirdest angle
Yeah,
ever for a video game.
same thing with Diablo, right? So technically, it's a dungeon crawler type stuff, and I love the hack and slash and you know, um,
Get into a group of enemies and just have to click A.
yeah, and you're like
Yeah.
you're like
You don't even have to look at the screen as long as you're clicking.
yeah, like spellcast. It's like when Harry Potter before Harry Potter was a thing. uh, um, and then you know another one. I'm a huge first person shooter individual, so like I think my top first person shooter would be I gotta go with Time Splitters. Like
Oh,
Time Splitters 1 and 2. For me, those didn't matter whether like yeah, obviously, with the times, right? Graphics and stuff. Um, but the one thing that kind of I think it was before its time at that point because like you have an agent of some sort that's coming to either the future or the past to because somebody is doing something fucked up, right? So, and the multiplayer aspect of it when we had to play in the same house, right? Because multiplayer wasn't like a huge thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
online wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And we, the map builder, that map creator type deal.
Yes.
Remember
the
that?
best,
Phenomenal for its time.
the
Yes.
best ever.
I want them to remaster that.
Now
Oh,
picture
absolutely.
this. Picture this, guys. For the guys, for the people that don't understand what we're talking about.
We're
What
30.
year was this? First off,
I can
Had to have
find
been
it.
early 2000s.
I think it was,
PlayStation 2.
yep. I think it was early 2000s for
They
sure.
had already created chunks of a map. So say there's a hallway. That hallway you play in, they've already created it.
2000.
The game creators, and you can just take that hallway, place it here, take that hallway, place it here, take that hallway, place it here. Now you have a long corridor, and then you go into a turn, boom, place a turn. You literally create the layout of a map. It's not you design the layout. because obviously you're not creating what textures, you're just
Yeah, you're not
preset
building the
textures
walls.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Well, I know some of them were different. Like we walk in from a hallway room, you went from desert, the catacomb style, right? Futuristic blue emeralds, and you're like fucking stroking out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They were already
the
textured,
textures
but
are-
there's
yeah.
certain preset ones we could choose from. There
Yeah.
was a lot of them.
Yep. Oh, and just so you're to date us because we remember this shit. It came 23 years ago. So
23 years. That's crazy.
October,
That game came
October
out when I was
2000.
7.
October of 2000. Okay,
Love that game.
and we actually I got introduced to it because of I mean, Bub, you can edit this out, but from Tommy. I'm not gonna say his last name, but from Tommy, because we went over to his house and we were playing it. You don't okay, Cody's looking at me like I have a fucking wiener on my face.
I've already seen that. It's not too surprising for me, but
But-
especially for you.
Yeah, that's how I got introduced to it for some reason. Like I think he had the second one or something like that.
Oh, I was trying to think of what Tommy you're talking about, but
You're an idiot.
I know now. I was like, what?
Yeah, the only
Usually
Tommy
thought of the Power Ranger Tommy first, and I was like,
Yeah, you remember when Brandon used to go over to his house and play with the Power Ranger?
Mom would have called the cops. But
She would ask for an autograph first.
oh, true. All right, so I got
Power Ranger, where's my autograph?
where's my supplies?
Where's my autograph book?
All right, so I got Darkstone, Time Splitters. Oh shit. Okay. Now I'm gonna go first. Oh, that is, I guess that's a first person. Okay, so Battlefield, Battle for Middle Earth. It's like a Command and Conquer style. Command your troops, point them in direction. If you've ever played Command and Conquer, you start off with a base, you build up your defenses, build up your army, and then you go try to, I'm gonna use a harsh word, slaughter motherfuckers. But
First of all, it's not even a harsh word. Second of all, it's basically what every app game is now.
yeah, like a real time strategy, right?
Yes, RTS.
Okay.
But yeah, those were good. Phenomenal. Lord of the Rings in general had a ton of different playstyle games, which are incredible. So
Okay. Side note, not even in my top, but it probably should for sure. The Fellowship game, that the Hobbit Fellowship one.
oh yeah,
Very
that
good.
one was rough, but
Yeah.
once you get past that, it starts like expanding like crazy.
I mean, then you're running through fucking Hobbiton in straight, like you have the horse riders, whatever the hell they're called. I can't remember what the hell they're called.
Weren't they like Night Riders?
I can't. There's multiple different names.
Nazgul.
Yeah, multiple different names for them.
I think that maybe the dragon. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was that like beast thing that the Witch King fucking flew on in Return of the King. Whatever. All right, whatever.
Only one return, man, and they know the king.
Hey,
Hey, you watch your mouth.
You don't say that. Ton of Step Brothers references already.
oh yeah.
Well, we just had a movies restaurant. Movies. Yeah, you had a
Movies
movie
restaurant.
quote. You had a Clerks quote too.
Yeah.
Not always dropping the fucking gem
Yeah.
quotes.
I know. And then you obviously have the Two Towers, and Return of the King. Fantastic games.
All right, real fast, Brandon. Do you
Okay.
remember when we had to play the Two Towers on the GameCube? We
Not
had
shut that
no
motherfucker
memory
off.
card, and Terry would always come in and shut it off, so we couldn't beat the game right away. So we devised sneaky plans to where we kept this GameCube on for like 4 days straight. We'd cover that little light up, the orange light, we'd cover it up with a piece of cloth at night. Because if Terry came in and seen a light on, he would go and turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
you're
that
lucky you
type of
didn't have a
person.
surge protector in your room.
Yeah.
No,
He'd go over there, flip the little switch, and shut your whole house off.
If we were on life support and a
First
light
off,
was on,
remember at one point when Larry would shut off the breaker to a whole section of the house? So not out of the realm. It's just the days we grew up in to where electric ain't staying on if it ain't being actively used.
Yeah, like the GameCube was raising the electric bill by that much.
yeah.
But that dude, he would come. I would hear him creak into the room, just like not creak in, but he would like open the door, peek, see if anything's on, and if he seen that orange light, he'd go turn it off.
I walked upstairs because I replaced. So I was about to play video games, decided not to. Went and replaced my bedroom door, which finally fucking fits and works now. Excuse me. Came upstairs to hop on before we hopped on, right? My office light, it was on. I got instantly pissed. I was just like, that's like $20 right there.
No, it's not. Dude, I will leave the house and the kids' YouTube will be on both screens, and we just dip out of the house for 8 hours or so.
See, my electric bill's only like
I try to tell them, I'll yell at them too, like turn your
Yeah.
shit off before we leave. But if
Yeah.
they don't, I'm not coming home being like, this is gonna be a $200 bill. Because
I've never been over like $200.
unless you heat with electric and
Yeah.
stuff like that. How your bills are set depends on that. But no, leaving a TV on, like the people back in the day used to think, would
That sounds-
raise your bill exponentially. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it did. We didn't pay the bills back then.
That's
I'm
true,
sure
but they thought like every time
sure
you
we
flipped
made
a
a-
light switch, it was 25 cents.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure we probably like bankrupted our parents with just playing video games all day. Just something was on.
Yeah, how dare we be children?
Yeah. Yeah. This is
I
why
mean,
a
growing
person
up, I don't know if my kids have it privileged or what now, or the electrical grid is set up different, but I don't stress about lights being on. Or, I mean, I leave my desktop on 24/7. It starts bogging down once a week. I'll shut it down, go through a defrag process, clean it up.
Heather always complains because she'll come home, I'll be upstairs, but then for some reason she comes downstairs to the basement and literally every light is on. Every single light. Like when was the last
Hey,
time you were
listen-
downstairs? About 7:00 this morning.
be like, listen, woman, who paid the bills? Well, both, but probably both of y'all. But
Nah, she makes more than me. I'm not going to tell her that.
Right.
be like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm not doing that either.
You
Not
want
that
the
you're
dick
telling us
tonight?
that.
You want the dick tonight or not? No, I don't.
Okay.
All right, back to Lord of the Rings. Let's get
Yeah.
back on Lord.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, those are probably my top, except for one of them that hold near and dear to my heart. But I just want to hear. I want to hear y'all's. So
All right,
whoever.
my OG game, that I probably have the best memories growing up playing, where the first like that feeling you get when you're like at school or something and you're like, man, I can't wait to get home and play this game. I was drawing maps in the game what I was going to do when I got home and was able to play, because this was around the time, and Corey and Brandon, you'll know exactly which game. You couldn't be on the internet. Where we lived, we could not be on the internet and the phone at the same time. When you logged onto the internet, you heard that death-defying until you finally connected. It was that era. And this was Diablo 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
I don't remember playing one though.
How they limited us playing the game. It was like I had to draw maps, so I had a game plan going in. Like in 45 minutes, Brandon's hopping on and erasing anything I do, or he doesn't care if I go over a couple minutes. He's gonna want me off now. I mean, he will care. So I had to draw plans and maps, dude, of what I was gonna go and get do.
Okay.
Den
Okay. So
of evil. I'm gonna clear the den of evil. I'm gonna come back, sell the stuff to the bitch that sells the potions. Like,
okay. So do you remember like Age of Empires and
oh yeah,
like that shit on the computer?
Civilization, like the first
Yeah.
style Civilization games.
Yeah. I know Sean, he's on that corner. I don't know where the fuck he's at now, but
Stop
Quit
pointing.
pointing at people, dude. It's rude.
Yeah, it's rude. Yeah.
so like I don't know where again, I don't know where he's at, but I know
Doesn't matter.
Sean was like a fucking mad scientist when it came to like the Age of Empire games. He's like, this is what you have to do, and this
Rise
is
of
what you did
Nations,
before.
Civilizations, all those.
Yeah. And then I
Wait, so
see,
Sean, you would make, what do you mean you were a mad scientist with it?
he was super good at it, and he was
Oh,
just
okay.
like, this is what you have to do before, to progress super fast and shit
Like how
like
you
that.
had the like how you were talking about doing the maps for like Diablo and stuff like that. I'm sitting there like at school making game plans for like who I'm gonna conquer and like what I'm gonna make.
Yes, I just pointed too.
Yeah.
That's a general point though. But
Yeah.
Person to point has
Dang,
to
dude.
cut off their finger.
that was the first age of video game addiction for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been into more like retro gaming, like N64, Super Nintendo, like old school shit.
Fucking GoldenEye, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, we could have started before then too.
Almost the best game of all times.
I
But
think
that-
probably.
It wasn't more
That
so of
pause
addiction,
music,
it was just
though.
like, we were
Oh,
all,
It went hard on that pause music.
we were all
Oh,
kids
yeah.
in one room anyway, so we'd play it. You know what I mean?
You remember how always having everybody had it. That one controller would always like
It
slightly.
drifted.
You weren't touching it, but it would
Still
still
happens,
move.
bro. It
It
still happens. Every single one of my controllers have a drift, man.
I believe that because you toss them around like they're freaking
No, I don't.
Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah, a
First off,
$200
that's
controller. I
not my
smashed that bitch with a fucking weight. And I was just so pissed.
Yes,
Never.
let's have a moment of silence for all those broken controllers that the world destroys on a regular basis that keep Sony and Microsoft alive.
Like they're not making anything for the game sales. It's all the controllers and hardware.
I guarantee the hardware and controllers are half of it. I swear.
Yeah, that's why you got to buy
It wouldn't surprise me.
the rock candy ones.
Oh my
That,
God.
yeah, dude, we were growing up with Mad Cats.
Oh, those thick ass.
Oh yeah, yeah, but they felt so good in your hands though.
No, they didn't, dude.
I didn't
They
mind
were
them.
terrible.
You got goofy hands then, bro.
I do have goofy hands.
Look at them. Everything's
They were
goofy.
off brand because people didn't like them and they were
Yeah.
goofy shaped.
Yeah.
All right, Cody, what's your other game that you like? We gotta we'll keep this chain rolling.
I wanted to save it, but I gotta mention Legend of Dragoon. I'm still looking up videos to this day about that game.
Yep.
The lore, how like if I can get a piece of this comic that I can read that they never released in America. If you go on my YouTube history today, you'll see some Legend of Dragoon stuff. Like I love this game. I haven't played it in 10 plus years, but I'm still
Think
looking
about
up
it every day,
videos.
though.
I think about every
My
single.
dog named after this video a character game.
So, and I've
His
read
dog's
that-
name's Herschel.
Oh,
I've read that they're trying to remaster.
They
Legend of
absolutely
Dragoon.
should.
They should.
Dude, there's been petitions and everything, and they did re-release it on PS5, but it's really buggy. It's not a remaster. They just released a bunch of retro games you could play from PS1, I do believe.
See, like, and that's my thing. Like,
How
how
Sony's been real good about doing that anyway.
how would a retro game that didn't require as many specs and stuff like that, like, keep the graphics the same? Who cares? I live for the graphics in Legend of Dragoon because I literally remember sitting there watching Bert and Mandy and you guys because I was fucking young and whatever, and I had to go. I couldn't fucking play, but whatever. But I'd sit there and just cuddle in and be like, all right, cool. What's happening now?
At our time, we needed it at that level of game for PS1, the first 3 disc of its kind, original release by Sony.
Yeah.
Like, it was phenomenal. It wasn't just a turn-based strategy game, you added addition. So while you're attacking, you hit X, you hit square, and then you keep going down a chain. It made it more addictive. Those items you would use where you're just pounding that X, dude,
to get the power up. Yeah,
that's half the reason for these things, bro.
Which I think Legend of the Dragoon, and I'm sure other games probably, you know, they probably started that before Legend of the Dragoon, which I like. I wasn't around at that time.
Well, Final Fantasy was kind of like that.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy didn't have additions.
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And I do believe Final Fantasy VII was the first 4-disc of Final Fantasy. I don't know 100%, but I do believe. So that does make Legend of Dragoon the first 3-disc at least on PS1. Don't quote me on it, but I do believe, because I've looked this up, because I was like,
like that's where like the, you know, with the I know it wasn't, you know, the one of a kind for, you know, turn-based strategy, right? But like when you're upgrading your character, you know, you have different weapons that you can throw on him, and then with the potions and the X or doing whatever the addition stuff,
phenomenal. The storyline.
Did they have different weapons you could choose?
Yeah, but it wouldn't change the look of the characters.
It wouldn't change. It wouldn't change cosmetic.
Like yeah.
It would change damage.
Yeah, it was just different. You could upgrade like the addition. You could choose which addition to put on it and stuff.
Yep. Each character had their list of additions. Each character had their list of weapons they could use, but it wouldn't affect the
cosmetic.
Yes, thank you. It wouldn't affect the cosmetics. It would just affect the stats.
What I used to be like, oh, you know, if I'm
equip certain rings and you can make your characters boosted so powerful, and it's real strategy like that, which I know Final Fantasy was very good at doing too. But fun fact, in the new game, I think it's PlayStation All Stars, where it's like Super Smash Bros. Melee, but for Sony.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, nice.
They do have a character rendering of an upgraded Dart.
Nice.
So it's like they kind of like, here, if they wanted a remake, here's how an example of it. And the remake has been rumored, but there's no evidence of it being made. But it's still out there that it's highly, highly wanted by the community. So, like I said, I look this shit up all the time. I love Legend of Dragoon. I'm always like, it'll be like 4 or 5 weeks will go by. I don't think about the game, and I'll be like, oh, I wonder if they're finally making a remake. I'm just waiting for it, dude. I will shovel money that I don't have into that game if I need.
Okay.
I'm probably sure there's an option, but
okay,
right, Sean.
Budget.
Okay, after Sean, well, I guess whatever. I need an honorable mention. But
we've only gone through half the people.
I know,
here, so.
I know.
All right, yep.
I know. All right, Sean. Nipplehead.
As far as games we got, like I said, I'm more like the early PS1 and then like N64 kinds of games. Like you mentioned GoldenEye, I was one of the ones that get a bunch of guys just chilling at the house, like a sleepover, like spend the weekend or whatever, and just kill those games playing play those games, killing some pizza.
One screen, 4 different players on the same screen, just like the Zoom call. Yep.
That's what I say is the good old days for video gaming, Sean. That would be my old head.
Quit screen peeking, man.
Yeah.
I only got like 5 inches of screen. I have to look somewhere.
Fucking cardboard up the fucking.
When we would play Halo back in the day, that's exactly what we would do. We would split the screen just like that.
Mm-hmm. You had to, or you just solve it by in Halo. Put the map always on, so no one's bitching. You can fucking anything goes at that point.
Yeah, they what was it? They get
next
like GoldenEye, but GoldenEye though, that was like one of those games that like I think it was like the second or third game I ever beat. So, and that was a pain in the ass coming home every day after school, and then the one day my entire save file gets wiped and I had to restart from scratch.
How old were you then?
Like
I don't think
I got the N64 when I was like 5 or 6. So I think like I was in like 2nd grade when I beat it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's like other than that, like on the N64, the other games I had were like Conker's Bad Fur Day and a bunch of wrestling games.
Wrestling, dude. WWE. What was
No
it?
Mercy,
You know,
and then
SmackDown.
What was the one with Goldberg on it that we always used to play, boys?
Oh shit.
We all
was
know
it
what I'm talking about.
Mayhem or one of those?
Probably Mayhem. It was Mayhem. I literally I saw it yesterday.
You get TV, you get full fucking box TVs thrown into the ring from the audience to use as a weapon, dude. That game was
Ain't
golden.
nobody.
And he's
you
carrying
have-
around with one hand.
Literally, you have
People
to be.
with a 200-pound TV.
You have to be literally strongman competition level throwing fucking box TVs in the ring and then getting walloped by that motherfucker.
Okay, John, you got any other games?
Yeah, then the next one I was going to talk about was like WF No Mercy and like was it WCW Revenge, which is basically the same damn game with a different paint job.
Mm-hmm.
Like those kind of games like ruin friendships if you get enough people around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've cried over video games, and I still do because I'm literally playing Evil Within 2 right now. I'm on the same part, been there for about 2 episodes now. Can't fucking do it. I get further and get schwacked. I'm playing on Nightmare, which is a difficult level, but it's
think I can do it.
frustrating. It's frustrating. Anyways, Bub, what's up?
So just like Sean, my favorite console was the N64. I don't care how many come out after the PS5. It'll always be my favorite console. 2 reasons. One, Super Mario Brothers, probably one of my most enjoyed, or not Bros, Super Mario or Mario 64.
Even Super Mario, bro. Nintendo. Kick it back to then.
You could at the beginning of the title screen, you're flicking his face, turning his head, and just an interactive title screen.
Yeah, I forgot you could even do that.
But that probably one of my favorite games.
Real fast, honorable mention in that game. Remember, we would all throw the penguin off the cliff on the snow level?
Everybody does. Yeah.
Level, and we're all, come here, cute little guy.
Yeah. So it would be cool for them to do kind of something like that, which I mean they kind of did with like the 3D, which is also another good one.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned before, Legend of Dragoon is one of my favorite games ever.
Top tier.
But to go back to the 64, and I know at least Brandon and Cody both know this game, Snowboard Kids.
Oh my god, dude! You know how long it's been since I've thought of that game.
So what Snowboard Kids is, it's like Super Mario Kart where you get like weapons and stuff like that to shoot at your other opponents, except you're on snowboards and racing down a mountain. It was the coolest thing ever.
Okay, the South Park game. I can't remember what the game was called, but it was like chicken something where like Cartman's special was pissing on
snowballs
and just fucking like they did extra damage, and you have that cow launcher and be like,
there were turkeys everywhere.
I don't even know if that game had a storyline. It was just like it had a storyline, but it was like a team deathmatch type thing still. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, that's. So
I mean, it probably did, but if I was so young, we've never went through the storyline of that game.
Mm-hmm.
There really wasn't much to speak of. I actually played that one a few years back. Like if I and I don't really remember there being much of much story other than there's enemies, kill them,
fuck with turkeys and other players.
Mm-hmm. So okay, Bub, I gotta ask you. Like I've been fucking trying to find this game forever, but I can never remember the name. And you're old as dirt, so
I'm 2 years older than you.
Hey, so we remember that vampire game that you used to play that was like insanely fucking hard.
Castlevania?
No, not Castlevania.
Blood
exactly.
Blood Rain?
Nope. You were like a special operations individual. You go into this town, it's getting wrecked by vampires. You had it for PlayStation, I know that. And if you made a sound or whatever, like you had to do something. If they saw you, you'd get fucking wrecked. But
I
again,
know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
again,
But
I
it
don't.
was raining through the whole game. I remember that. It was
I
always raining, bro.
I can't remember the name.
But yeah,
And
dude,
it's
there's
been
little
killing
snippets
me
in
for
my memory.
years. Yep, it's been killing me. And then also EOE.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to mention.
Nice.
EOE, dude.
Great
Eve
game.
of Evolution, where I had to learn
Dude.
what the fucking R3 was, and I quit the game twice.
You remember that
Nobody could tell
slasher
you.
dude? That
Yeah.
slasher guy who would roll?
Yeah, he had like fucking
Wolverine claws almost.
Yeah.
There was a guy who had a giant sword and it was connected like a snake, and it could go
Oh.
flexible, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
It's like
It was a great
fucking-
game though for back
Yep.
then.
Oh yeah, it's like a whip and a sword at the same time.
Introduced,
Like,
it was the first game we got with PlayStation 2.
yep. It was because mom got us PlayStation 2. I chose EOE, and you guys chose whatever the hell you
I
all
think
wanted.
I got, which is another honorable mention I was going to mention at the end, but Blitz the League.
Oh,
That game alone sparked my interest in sports.
Okay, I could give a fuck less about sports, but I like both of those.
He was
games
just in it for the bone breaking images.
He really
just
was.
because, I used to be. Well, I mean, you guys know I used to be into sports and stuff like that. It obviously faded. The only thing I watch is like college wrestling.
Yeah, you remember his favorite team used to be the Seahawks?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then, only probably because they were, going to the Super Bowl at that time back in the day.
They had who?
Um,
Sean Alexander, Hasselbeck, but
and then,
he had a
NFL,
jersey, too.
He
NFL.
did too.
Yeah, I did. I still have it.
Crazy to think you would own a football player's jersey today.
Yeah. NFL Street, NBA Street, shit like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Honorable mentions, guys. Let's
Yeah.
start getting them out there.
All right. So, all right, Bub, you got anything else?
Come back to me. Let me think about it.
Okay. Sean?
No, not really. Like you guys
All right,
mentioned
so-
a lot of the ones I was gonna say anyway. So
All right.
I
Chody?
am going to mention the OG Call of Duties. This is for the players out there that we don't remember Call of Duty as in let's hop online and play with a buddy. We remember Call of Duty being a strict storyline game. Strict, what was it? Big Red One and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And that's where I got into like the first person shooter type deal and trying to, be the sniper that I'm not. But like it was fucking fantastic.
Another honorable mention would be Gauntlet. I know they've had tons of remakes of it.
Oh,
Darkstone, phenomenal.
Did it.
Very Diablo-like game.
man, I think I'd take Gauntlet over Darkstone now that you bring it up.
You just-
Probably just because you had 4 people. You could
Yeah,
play
it was a
4 people,
multiplayer,
just
one
win
screen
championship.
multiplayer game.
Real good RPG.
That's cool.
Overhead, bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it,
Yep, yep,
style.
All right. So my top tier as of right now, and it'll probably never ever change. Just with the memories that it holds. Hold on, bub. Hold on. Shut up. Shut up.
I got super excited.
So top tier, Diablo 2 will never change. The only thing that comes of reasons why, one, Cody and I, whatever, I don't know where you're at on the screen. So
Good
Cody
point.
and I, we played a couple years back, or about a year or so back. And then when I first got introduced to it, it was at our stepdad's house at the time, and we were just chilling, and we had Until You Died, like play Until You Died, and I lasted maybe fucking 5 seconds.
I was gonna say
Like,
we were so bad at that point.
Yeah, I think Bub lasted the longest because he had the paladin, and also Bert's bitch ass was just like, "Hey, do this. Hey, don't forget," because they loved Bub, and they excluded us.
Well, he was the oldest. His mind
Yeah.
could wrap his mind around that kind of stuff better. We were really young at that point,
Oh,
Brandon.
yeah.
Like, you got to
Yeah.
think about that.
Virtual
Me and Corey
honorable
had
mention,
kids.
honorable mention, Virtual Cop on fucking
Oh,
Sega Saturn.
Oh shit!
By the way, okay, I'm done, bub.
All right,
That's
so
a great
I'm
one.
about to go crazy on some old games real quick. Speaking of
We have-
honorable mentions, one, the Silent Hill game,
oh,
awesome for its time. It's like a weird Resident Evil. I was real big into like Need for Speed and stuff, but do you remember Gran Turismo?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one I got really excited about. Obviously, I used to play like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Everybody did. But the one I got really excited about, which wasn't even on here. Do you remember? It was either Road Rash or Road Rage.
Road Rage.
Road Rage.
Where you just beating motherfuckers.
Yeah,
on
you're all racing on a
motorcycle.
motorcycle, trying to get to the end. But
It
you
was
could
like
like
GTA.
hit
It
people
was
and
like a
hit
racing
people with
game
the
meets
chain.
GTA.
Where my hatred for cops comes from today, dude.
Jesus.
You're trying to chase me down, and then when they wreck me, they're gonna give me a little bit of police brutality. You remember those? Literally.
Oh my god!
But I remember staying up
It would be the cop
countless.
just beating the crap out of him. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I remember staying up
great visuals for a
countless
kid.
nights though, playing anything Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah.
Metal
I
Gear
wish-
Solid.
I wish I was smart enough to understand those games around that time. Like, I wish I was better at it because I didn't know what I was doing 90% of the time.
what was the new one they released? Phantom
Pain?
Pain. That one wasn't as good as I remembered.
It's good as shit though.
But
It's
I think
just
if I
stuff
went
you can
through,
do.
yeah, I think if I went through and took my time and actually paid attention to the game, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoy it.
Brandon, we're running out of time here. You can go
Yep,
ahead
yep.
and end it there.
All right, we didn't really talk about it, in sequence, but hey, this is gonna be it for the
That's the
Manic Mind.
podcast, guys.
Yeah,
It goes
you're
off the rails at any point in time.
But that's gonna be it for us for the Manic Mind podcast. Except, people seem like they want to chat for 10 seconds. Cody, okay.
Okay. Shout out real fast the Graveyard. First off, we're talking about video games here, guys. If go visit the Graveyard. We're talking about video games. Brandon's got a
Cody,
love for
you're
video
screwing
games.
up the whole outro.
I'm just saying, shout out the Graveyard, man. And then Ballers on a Budget, Draft Turnapalooza coming after real.
You're screwing up the whole intro. The whole intro is us going around saying where you can find us.
Okay. Yeah, true. But all right. So that's gonna be it for the Manic Minds podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have suggestions on what we should do next, hit us up in the comments.
I'm gonna have to teach you guys the outro. Brandon, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube and Facebook.
What is me? Jesus.
They can find, they can find,
Hurry up. You better make it quick.
All right. They can find me on the Graveyard and Facebook and YouTube.
Sean, where can they find you?
Graveyard on YouTube, and that's it.
Cody.
Ballers on a Budget, Draft Turnapalooza, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
Sports Beast on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks, guys. I'm going to teach you guys the outro, and we're out.